Yeah,
is it
because
going to
they're
be all
gonna.
right? Is the wall going to be able to withstand the fire? That seems like the wall going to
Well,
burn, right?
no, well, it's made out of that. It's
I
made
mean,
out of like
I was around for
cement
9/11.
mixture.
Even steel beams burn,
Yeah,
Sam.
it's
All
a
right, but
cement mixture. So yeah,
yeah, it'll hold
it'll
up for a
withstand.
while,
Yeah, it will. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
probably
Well,
for days
we
under
need to
fire.
get like a supply of water to put out the fire with. I guess
Well, once the
have that
stuff
on hand.
burns, it'll go out.
It'll go out. All right.
Yeah, we'll probably have to keep feeding the fires if
Seems
anything.
like you've played with a lot of fire, Sam, in your day.
I have a
You're
feeling
right.
there's got to be something in that barn at the farm to help us make this a lot easier.
But our trench, what we want to do is put that between the settlement and the woods,
Right.
so that the fire doesn't go out into
So the
the
fire
woods.
doesn't escape. I got you.
Yeah, but
I'm digging that trench as we speak. I'm talking to you whilst digging the trench and wiping sweat.
Sure.
off.
You know, and James and Father Kenneth, you know, they kind of rally the community and start talking about, you know, what's happening, and you know, there's a rather large horde of, you know, he's not giving out exact numbers as in like hundreds. He's just saying that there's a pretty large group of them, and we're gonna, you know, reach out to the sanctuary, see if we can get the children, you know, Jenny and her kids and everyone else's kids, Jeff and Caitlin's children, to you know, to the refuge to see if maybe the sanctuary, and maybe stay there for a couple days until we've got things under control here, and then everybody can come back. And you know, there's a couple people saying, "I'm not gonna leave." You can hear, you know, you can hear all old Harry. And he's saying, I'm not leaving this place at all." And you know, you could hear several other people saying, "I'm not going to leave," and then a couple people are
we could
agreeing
use
it's
some
a good
of
idea.
Harry's concoction for fire starting.
Oh, yeah.
Molotov cocktails, right? Yeah,
Molotov cocktail away.
exactly. So you know, everybody's kind of talking. All of a sudden, Ben Cooper, he runs right up in the middle of everyone, and he says, "It's the cartels. It's the cartels. There's it's a mess over there." And,
God.
And you know, he just kind of streaks off between the house, and it looks like he's running over towards his place. And he's just running the whole time. It's a mess over there. It's a disaster. Oh my gosh! And he just storms off. And Caitlin's like, "Well, I'm gonna go see what this is. I'm gonna see what this is all about." So you know, Jeff. She tells Jeff to get the kids out of here, take them to the house, and she starts to head off towards. And so does James and Father Kenneth. They head over to the next couple of streets and head over to the Cardile's house. And you know, well, I don't know who all is going. Is anybody going, or?
I'm digging a
I'm
fucking
going.
ditch.
Okay, so you're gonna stay at the wall. Okay, so Jack, you're gonna go. A couple other folks of the community, they're staying behind with you also, Willie, and they're starting to dig along with you. Couple of the seniors and a couple of the little kids that are getting their, you know, little dump trucks out and, you know, scooping dirt and, you know, stuff like that. And so, Jack, you get over to the house. I guess you're the only one that went. So, Jack, you are at the house, and there's a pretty big gathering outside of the home. You know, there's about 15 people by now, and one of the other guards that usually, you know, patrolling around with a rifle slung over his shoulder. He says, "Oh my God, that's a sad sight in there." And he just kind of walks away. You know, just has his head lowered, and he goes, "If things just can't get any worse." And he just walks
I'm
away.
going up to that couch, and while we are a little bit away from the rest of the people, I'm asking him, what has happened?
Jenny's dead. She's dead. Things just, you think things can't get any worse, and they do, and he just kind of walks off. Well, a couple of the you know, members of the community are walking into the house, and you can hear one of the ladies scream, "Oh my God!"
I'm going in.
All right. And it's sort of like it's a muted scream, you know, and you can, as you walk in, you know, you walk up you know, the flight of stairs, and you know, a couple of the other members of the
Yeah.
community, they come down.
I limp up the stairs.
You limp up the stairs. Yeah, no
He's
problem.
doing better.
Yeah, you're
I'm
limping up
doing
there.
better, but
It's
I'm
still
a
hurting the
little
hell out of you, though.
Yeah, I'm still a little bit trying to minimize. What's to say it? To minimize the pressure if I'm setting my foot on.
Kind of
my
like
full
hobbling.
weight on it.
Yeah, I gotcha. I gotcha. You probably would have probably a little walking stick anyway. So
Yeah.
you know, as you're going up the
Impressive.
stairs, a couple of the members of the community, they come down and say, "Oh, it's a mess up there. She's dead." And you know, as you finally, you know, hobble your way up the stairs, you know, you look in the hallway, and there is, you know, unfortunately there's Jenny. I mean, she's in the hallway on the second story. She's got a rope around her neck, you know, basically tied around her chin, and you know, it's basically have one of those exercise bars that was put at the very top of the hallway, and she's hanging there. But I mean, her skull is now smashed in, and you can see just a pool of blood that is basically spilled under her feet, and you can still see the blood kind of trickling out of her lifeless body. And you know, basically behind her has, well, actually, you know, you can see the noose. She's down on the ground, but behind her is RC. And RC, you know, and Jenny's, her skull is like totally just smashed in. And RC is kind of like on his knees behind her, you know, looking down at her. And he's got a hammer, a bloody hammer in his hand. And, you know, he's just staring down at her. And, you know, his pants, his shirt, everything is just covered in blood.
Well, I go up towards RC and trying to get the hammer away from him at the very first.
Yeah, he's got such a grip on that hammer. You're like trying to pull this hammer out of his hand, and it's like you're having a hard time even. It's like he's locked up, and he's just like kind of staring at his mother as she's, you know, lying there lifeless on the ground. Pool of blood. I mean, blood everywhere. Splatters on the wall. I mean, it's just disgusting.
Is James are so close by?
James and the father, they get there, and you know, the father says, "Oh, heaven, Lord have mercy." And you know, he starts to say a prayer under his breath, and you know, starts to, you know, do all the motions and whatnot. And
I asked James if he could help me get the hammer away from RC. Because if that kid snaps, it could attack us.
yeah, you can see in his, you know, the hammer's in his right hand, and you know, as he kind of shifts a little bit and kind of, you know, moves his, because he's sitting, you know, kind of like on his knees, and he kind of moves, and then as he moves, you can see in his left hand he has like a butcher knife also, and then you know, it's dripping blood as well, and so is the hammer. And then a little bit behind him, you can start to hear some whimpering, and you can see that his 7-year-old sister Kathy is looking outside of the door, and you know, she's just got massive trails of tears coming down her cheeks, and you know, all of a sudden, you know, she starts to scream hysterically, you know, when she sees her mom. And then, you know, and then when James and Father Kenneth get there, you know, he as you tell him to get that hammer and knife from him, he just kind of nods his head at you, and James tells Father Kenneth to get little Kathy out of the house. So Father Kenneth, he looks down at RC and says, "Everything's going to be okay, son," as he kind of pats him on the shoulder, and then he walks past him like ever so gently. Then he goes and picks up Kathy and starts to walk by RC slow again, and starts to gingerly walk down the stairs. And then Michael's there as well, and James kind of looks over at Michael and says, "Get everybody out of this house. Get everybody away from the front of the house. Nobody can see this right now. And usually we're an open community." And Michael says, "You don't have to say anything else. I'll take care of it." So Michael starts to go down the stairs, and Caitlin had come with you as well. And she's kind of standing about 3 or 4 stairs down from where you're at, because you had hobbled up to the top of the stairs, and you kind of glance back at her, and she's just got her hand over her mouth, and she's just she's got tears, and she just starts to kind of like slowly back down the stairs, and she takes a bigger step and almost falls backward head over heels, but she grabs onto the railing, and then she kind of catches herself, and then she shakes the cobwebs out and just moves down the stairs really slowly. And James kind of forces his way past you, and he's holding one of his hands out, and he's being real calm, and he's going over to RC and says, "It's all right. It's over now. Son, just give me the knife and the hammer." As James starts to walk over towards him, and RC, he's just staring at his mom's lifeless corpse. He hasn't really he hasn't said anything. He hasn't looked. He didn't look at Father Kenneth when he moved by. He didn't look at you. He's not looking at James or nothing.
He's just in a, how much to say it? He's like in a tunnel vision.
Yeah. He's sort of like in shock. I mean, especially after seeing what just happened to his sister. And then he opens his mouth and he says, I had to do it. I had to do it. She was going to become one of those, just like Dad. I had to do it.
I'm going a little bit painful, but I'm going towards on my knees in front of him.
So you're like getting down on your knees?
Yeah. So I'm not as I'm at his height a little bit more, and I'm saying, "Son, I understand it, but give the hammer and the knife now." You say that, James says that to him, and after RC had said, "I had to do it," James, as he gets closer to me, he says, I know, son." He says, "I know. Just now, just give me the knife and the hammer, and then we can go ahead and get you." And then, as soon as he says, and as soon as we can get you, all of a sudden, man, RC's face just becomes like this. Like that mask he had on at the funeral in the morning. It's like he now has like this demonic mask of hatred on his face, and he just looks at James and he screams in rage, and the scream erupts from his mouth, and all of a sudden Caitlin, as she's going backwards down the stairs, she starts to scream. Everybody starts to scream, and RC literally
leaps and tackles James. And all this has happened simultaneously, and as this is happening, he buries the knife right into James, and he buries the knife into James several times as James is trying to twist and defend himself. And we can go ahead and roll. We can do action cards if you want to, if you're going to try to help.
I'm
That
gonna try
escalated
to.
quickly.
I'm gonna try to pull him off, or at least so that you can't hurt anyone else.
Okay. All right. Let me get RC in here. All right. I've got him. I'm gonna take. Let's see.
I hear this screaming while I'm digging with my shovel, Dave, and I'm like, stop for a second. Damn, white people! White people seem hysterical, man. Damn, why can't they just come out here and dig a damn ditch with me?
it's probably about 2 streets away, so I don't know if
Right,
you.
I'm not going to help, Dave.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. No,
I'm
it's no problem.
entertaining myself a little bit.
So
I think, Dave, a chain reaction of if they hear screaming in the house, the people outside will also probably make rumor.
Spontaneously start screaming.
Well, yeah.
No,
Remember,
not screaming,
Yeah.
but make rumor, and probably that is what DD is hearing.
yeah. Michael
Damn white
had
people. Can't they just dig a
started
fucking
to-
ditch and be happy with it?
Michael had started to shoo everyone away anyway. Maybe a minute or so before, so he had gone down and started to kind of,
Is one
Shooting.
fatal flaw.
people away. Now, RC is on top of James. He knocked him to the floor, and he's raising and lowering that knife, man, in blinding speed. So we'll go ahead and do some cards right now, Mr. Let's see, and I also want to put James in the tracker as well.
It was
I
good that
appreciate-
it was good that Jack was along. Gave him his solo debut.
Yeah, yeah. Well, James has got to. James has got
Last time he lost a
initiative.
foot though.
Last time he
Yeah,
did,
that's
yeah.
I nominate Jack as the team's negotiator.
I have to see the track roll, so Dave.
Yep, I'm sure.
Isn't
right now.
Caitlin there too, or did she walk away?
Caitlin, yeah, she's screaming down at the bottom of the stairs. So I will probably go ahead and put Caitlin in there as well.
Yeah, I yell for Caitlin. Get up here and come and help me get this kid under control.
Well, yeah. So James is first. He is going to try to push the kid off of him. Now he's going to do a strength check versus RC Junior's strength as well. I'm going to give James a -2 because of the wounds that he's inflicted already. And I'm going to give RC a +2 because he's in like a berserking, raging state.
Adrenaline flowing in him and shit.
Oh yeah, big time. All right, so that's James's RC's. Oh my God! Yeah, there's no way. He just buried that knife again into James. All right, so let's see, and he's done it again. Jack, it's your turn now. So what do you want to do? I mean, you've got a handgun. You can do. I mean, you can. You said you wanted to knock him off of him, I guess. So, you can just give me a. Go ahead and give me a strength check, and then I'll do a strength contest with you versus RC, basically. I don't know, Jack. You
Yeah,
had
my strength.
you had a pretty bad trait roll there. Yeah, you definitely didn't. You're trying to push him off of him. He's still on top of James, and James is very. You can see that James has got. There's blood everywhere on James now. He's bleeding. He's still struggling as well, But you know, RC is just in this rage, and
yeah, but what
go ahead.
I was trying to do during that swim, like
Is push
I
him
was
off
trying,
of him, right?
yeah, like doing a rugby tackle,
Yeah, you basically
just
you bounced right off of him, basically. I
trying
mean,
to
you
get
had
them
a
off balance.
yeah,
so-
you knocked him off balance to where he's not attacking anymore. I mean, you had a roll of a
Yeah.
2, he had an exploding 6 for a 9, so there's just no way that you know, you were able to knock him off fully. Now you're able to hamper him from attacking again, yes. You know, and he's probably buried that knife into James 4 or 5 times now. So, you know, as you know, you hear James is screaming. You know, Caitlin comes up. She dives on. You know, now you've got him off balance. He's not going to get a bonus anymore. And now I'm going to let Caitlin see if she can try to steamroll this. You know, steamroll him off of James. Let's see, last one. I'm going to give him a -2. And this is all kind of happening all simultaneously, so. He's a strong kid, man. Yeah, as Caitlin jumps on him with your help, you know, because you kind of knock him off balance a little bit. Caitlin comes in, and bam, you know, you knock him off of James. And you know, you grab one of his arms. She's like grabbing one of his feet. You know, the knife goes flying. He's still got this hand. You've got the arm with the hammer.
With the hammer.
Yeah. So he's struggling. You know, he's in this rage. You're struggling for about another 10 seconds. Then Michael's able to get back up there, and you know, between yourself, Caitlin, and Michael, you're able to basically, you know, get him off of James fully, and basically restrain him from doing any more damage. You know, and now
Yeah,
you've got, you know, John. He's coughing and coughing up blood a little bit, and you know, the father comes running up again. What the blue hell is going on in here? He says, "Oh God, oh no!" As he sees James.
When he saw his mother, he lost it, and he was trying to prevent her from getting a zombie, and he suddenly snapped at James here. So
he says, "Well, I seen her. I seen that he killed her. I was out trying to shoo everybody around from the house, and then all of a sudden I hear him screaming. I hear James screaming. I hear the girl Caitlin screaming. So I can come back in, and now all hell's broken loose. And now my friend James is bleeding to death on the ground. You know, and he, you know, Father Kenneth, you know, he jumps right on James, and because you guys had a conversation. You know, he had been in the military. So he had a little bit of knowledge of, you know, medical field expertise, and you know. Go ahead.
I say to Kate, with me and Michael, I think holding the boy down for a moment. I say towards Caitlin, try to get Rose in here. She knows maybe more to help James out.
Yeah, a couple of the other members of the community, they start to come up the stairs too, and Father, you know, they hear you say that, and you know, one of them says, "Yeah, I'll go over and I'll go get the doctor." You know, a couple more minutes come by, but eventually, probably 2-3 minutes come by, and in fact, Ben Cooper comes running by again, and Ben sees you guys digging a hole out there. He goes, I told you guys that all hell is broken loose over at Jenny's house. Jenny's dead. Jenny's dead. And James, he's hurt. RC stabbed James with a knife, with a big old super chef knife, one of them big Ginsu knives. And James needs help. The Father Kelly told me to come over here to get everybody.
Well, we trying to dig a damn trench or
Fucking trench! That shit can wait, man! James is bleeding to death over there.
Well, I ain't no fucking doctor, man. You go over there and help him with the damn blogosphere or something, goddammit.
He says, "I'll screw this," and
he just poor Ben just streaks off again. Boom!
I'm not following because I want to know where everyone is. I mean, the people out there with these foliages.
Yeah, they're. All right, so who's going
So I'm following
to
back.
Jenny?
I heard bleeding. That's like probably the only word I understood. So I'm gonna go.
Okay, so whoever, I guess it would be just you.
I'm
and
digging the damn trench, Dave. Fuck this shit.
No problem. So it looks like Sam and the doctor, Mrs. Rouge, they're going over towards Jenny's house. And, of course, Deshaun, he's still digging. And there's a couple of the youngins there and a couple of the seniors. And they're like, I hope everything's okay. It seems pretty desperate the way that...
Everything's going to be all right. Just concentrate on that hole you digging, man.
they just keep going. All right, so you guys, about 4 minutes go by. You guys get there. Rose, you run up the stairs, and there's blood everywhere. There's blood splattered on the walls. You see Jenny, her head's fucking caved in. I mean, this is massive blunt trauma, hole in the head. You could see Father Kenneth. He's just covered in blood. His hands are covered in blood. He's got... he's trying to put pressure, like a couple of sheets, and during this time that Ben Cooper had come back to get him, Jack, you went into one of the rooms and actually got some rope, tied up RC, stuck him in the other room, basically tied him up to, tied him to the bed, huge sailor's knots, and Michael's keeping an eye on him out the door. Father's working, on James, and
I try to help Father. After I secure the boy, I'm trying to help Father with keeping the pressure on.
Okay, yeah, because he's got like 5 wounds. He's got 5 deep wounds where you've seen the knife buried all the way down to like the handle, pretty much.
I'm at the moment just listening what Father is saying to me to do.
He's just saying. He's
if
just
Father says,
Look at here, foreigner. You just keep the pressure on there, and it'll stop the bleeding.
and then Rose, you get up to the top of the stairs. Also, Sam, you're up there, and the father says, thanks for coming so quickly. He said James has lost a lot of blood. And by this point, James is passed out, probably from the shock. So,
Alright, delegate someone to keep pressure on, someone to get some water to help clean it, someone to go get med kits, depending on how many people are left, someone to go find Harry and get some alcohol.
Okay, so you want to do a medicine check for me? And we'll kind of give you the scoop on what's going on.
A healing check or knowledge medicine?
Knowledge medicine or a healing check, whatever's better.
They're both the same, so it doesn't matter.
Okay. And you guys have bennies too, so don't be afraid to re-roll, if you know what I mean. I would probably use a Benny. Rosie, you didn't have to put that in a tower, but it was a 3. I would probably use a Benny if I was you.
Rosie.
Oh, Rosie. And you can use as many bennies as you want. That's horrible.
Yeah, I'm gonna... Fuck it. Well, yeah, I have several. I'm just gonna keep going.
Well, I would use another Benny. People are using bennies. I love it. All right. So he hit the target number 4. Now, his wounds are pretty bad. He's lost a lot of blood. But it doesn't look like any major... Luckily, it doesn't look like any major organs were hit, any arteries, because the blood is coming at him, but it's not like it's not shooting out of him like you would stuck a pig in the heart or anything from the side. So